You sound like a cat.
I
purring.
know.
How do you do that?
I don't know how you
I
don't do it.
I sound like I'm trying to gargle and I can't. I'm like choking.
I'm like, because that's what I hear every night.
My dogs snore. They're like, that's what I hear.
Your dog snore, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah,
Like,
you're like, what is that? And I'm like, it's just living, Sadie. They're just snoring. Don't worry about it.
they're just living their best life.
Yeah, they are. They hate when mom has to go record.
I know.
I told her, I was like, if you would behave and be quiet, I'd bring you, but
Oh, that
you
will
won't.
never happen.
No, it's never going to happen.
Literally,
No.
never. I think I would bring Jaxie, but he would just be like,
We just have this like ASMR background of like, I feel so soothed whenever I listen to their podcast. I mean, they're crazy, but there's just this like
soothing
background
undertone. This is Jessie.
This is Kiki.
And this is Two Girls, One Haircut.
Oh my God. We're back. Again, I say that every time. They're like, yeah, we get it. You're back. I'm
You're
listening.
back. You're here. We know.
We got
okay,
it.
just move on. Like, where is Professor Binky with the questions already? Because you know they're going to do some.
They're over
Well,
us.
today we're not going to do questions. We're going to do this or that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I could do that.
Yeah,
This
let's
or
do that.
yeah.
Are you
I
ready?
know. I'm like,
All right.
put the computer down.
Put the
Okay.
computer away.
All right.
All right, here we go.
All right, you ready? Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, Star Wars, hands down. I don't feel like I've watched enough Star Trek to even answer that question, like, honestly. So it's got to be Star Wars.
I'm trying to think what would make my husband proud.
Oh, well, I was going to say
Yeah.
Star Trek, and then I was like, no, he would probably be more proud with Star Wars.
I would say I'm like Star Trek Next Gen. No, I don't know. I don't know anything. Star Wars, because I like the Ewok bears. I've said I hope that that's what aliens look like.
Is Star Trek the one with
Oh my
Picard?
God. Yes.
Okay.
That's Next Gen, isn't it?
I don't.
You used to watch it.
No, I watched Voyager.
Oh, you watched Voyager.
Yeah.
See, people are
not
going to be
the
listening
same.
and they're going to
Yeah.
be like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't.
that's
we're the theme of the podcast.
I was going to say we're acutely aware of that.
Yeah, I would say Star Wars. Yeah, for sure.
All right, vinyl or streaming?
Oh, vinyl.
Ugh. I'm so lazy. Listen, I stream, and Gare gets so mad at me because he's like, we have that on vinyl. And I'm like, yeah, but then I have to get up and I have to flip it. And I love the idea of it, and it's really cool. But then also I'm like, it's on my phone. Can I just stream? And he's like, no, I just so streaming.
We have the most beautiful vinyl collection. And
We have a big one too.
And I'm so proud of it. And I love it. And I feel like nothing sounds the way that vinyl sounds.
It doesn't. It sounds amazing, but I'm lazy. I said it. I'm lazy. I'm like, can't you just like let me stream it?
This is like me sitting on the couch with Binky, and I'm like, oh my God, do you hear what she's saying right here? And then it's like, and I'm just, and then I'm like, okay, I have to flip it and put this other song on. And he's just like, oh my gosh.
He's like, calm down.
Yes.
Painful truth or comforting lie? I assume that you could look at it both ways. Would you rather hear the painful truth or a comforting lie, or would you rather, when you're talking to somebody, give them the painful truth?
I want the comforting lie because I tell myself the painful truth all the time. I'm so mean to myself that I'm like, somebody please lie to me and tell me it's okay.
And see, I'm the opposite because I'm like, I'm always telling myself the comforting
The
lie that I'm like in delusional land. So please
You're
tell
like
me the
Delulu.
painful truth, because I am that person, like, I don't get subtlety.
You do not.
I do not get subtlety at all. And so I'm like, and God bless my husband, because he tries to be subtle with me. And I'm just like, if you're being subtle, I am absolutely missing it. And
Yeah, you
so
are.
I need you to just be like, hit you over the head with a 2x4 in order for me to like comprehend what
So
you're
you're
trying
saying
to
is
tell me.
everything's a painful truth because you're getting smacked with a 2x4. That tracks. That makes sense.
Now, these were on your list that you guys sent to me about 2 months ago when we started this project. You listed a whole bunch of things of, this or that. Paul or John, your favorite Beatle? And I'll tell you this. I mean, growing up being rebellious, I had to go for John. Then, Paul did produce some great music, still does. And but now as an old man, George might be my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a Paul.
I'm a Paul too.
Because
I feel like
also-
John was an asshole.
I feel like John was so weird. He's so like,
No,
I look back and
Well,
it's
you learned a
him.
lot of stuff about John
That was
reading
me.
the books and things. I mean,
Yeah.
I just, I became a big fan of the Beatles before. I read some things
I was
that
like,
weren't
if you
flattering.
wanted me to be a Beatles fan, then I shouldn't have listened to the book by his ex-wife. Because, or not a Beatles fan, a John fan. If you wanted me to be a John fan, yes, we listened to all 20 hours of it. It was very good, but I'm also I freaking low key hate him now. I'm just what a douchebag.
I'm for Paul also because didn't he get into Meatless Mondays? He started people doing Meatless Monday.
There's a guy who I know allegedly who was a bus driver and drove them on tour. Paul's supposed to be a vegetarian. We might get in trouble for this, but there's a guy who I know runs a bus company, and when Paul performed in Atlanta, he was on his bus. Paul allegedly had pepperoni pizza.
Shut up. That's not meat.
It is. It's milk and eggs, bitch.
All right, this was definitely for you.
Team Paul all the way.
Yeah.
Now, Meghan Markle or Kate Middleton?
Oh, God, neither.
Oh.
This is such a Jessica question.
It is.
I'm like, what? No.
Well, I'm Team
Princess Di.
Yes.
There you go.
No, I'm Team Meghan. I really kind of hate how everybody hates on her. And I think...
Oh, I don't have a problem with her. I just don't care enough.
No, I hate how the media, A, has to pit women against each other, and then B, has to tear somebody down. And I'm just why do we have to do that? Why can't
you mean like we're doing right now?
Yes,
by saying,
exactly.
Mm-hmm. By choosing.
But that's why I'm
because I hate it, so I definitely put it in this or that.
But I'm choosing her because I like her show.
I know you watch it and I don't watch it.
Yeah, what is it called? It would be nice if I could remember it.
I don't know, but I did see someone trashing her because she's I'm making sun tea, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I have really enjoyed. I feel like it's the modern day Martha Stewart.
That's a little too nice, but okay.
But you haven't even seen it.
I haven't, but I'm judging
because it's it's making the everyday thing.
I know you keep telling me it's beautiful. My vibe.
You would 100%. If you watched it, you would be obsessed.
Because I'm the one who wants to have specially a logo for their house to have their towels embroidered with it.
Yes,
and you're yeah, you'd love that.
I have to look it up because I'm what is it called?
It's something with Meghan.
All right, final one, kids. Billie Eilish or Olivia Rodrigo?
Billie Eilish, because I don't know who Olivia Rodrigo is, and I like Billie Eilish.
She's the more glamorous of the two.
Is
Olivia
she?
Rodrigo is.
Oh, Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah, I'm a Billie Eilish all the way.
So the Meghan show is called With Love.
Oh my God.
Meghan.
I told you it was something Meghan.
And then her brand is called As Ever.
We're moving on.
I'm not moving on. I am
just because and this episode has sidetracked and we're only talking about Meghan Markle.
And I'm and I'm here for it.
You know what? They're both skinny bitches and I'm jelly.
What was the other question?
Olivia Rodrigo or Billie Eilish?
Oh,
Rodrigo, is that right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I love some Olivia Rodrigo songs, but I think Billie Eilish.
I don't even know. I'm sure I do. Garrett, you do know.
Yeah,
Billie Eilish is the John of the two. I mean, although she probably doesn't have the
really.
We don't like
she's
her.
more cynical, or it's more of a rebel.
She's bipolar.
She seems like
no, not bipolar. She has Tourette's.
Right, she has Tourette's.
Those are very different.
I know they very much are.
Very,
I apologize.
very different things.
She has Tourette's. She has Tourette's.
Okay,
yeah,
that's interesting. One of my favorite shows. Recently is called Bailin' Out Loud.
Oh, I can't watch that.
And she has Tourette's, and I love her. I love watching her. Binky, she's from West Virginia. Her family is. They just have such great vibes, and I am hardcore down for their journey.
I think the problem is I tried to watch one episode and I was really anxious when we watched it, and she also has OCD, and I have OCD, and I'm always trying to
contain it.
And I will say I'm not someone who has it terrible all the time. It has come and gone in my life, and so sometimes it flares up and it's really bad, and you know that, and then other times it's not. And so I watched it and it was triggering me hard. I was oh, I can't watch it.
I think I just started watching it because it was on HBO, and I was what's this girl? And she looks cute. And
she's adorable.
She looks young and happy. And then when I saw that the family is from West Virginia, I was down for that.
Yeah.
And I just love the vibe. I love their energy. I love the transparency. When I think about, I talked about in the last Behind the Pod about my kind of anxiety and sharing my life. Right.
Yeah.
And talking about GLP-1s and stuff like that. And I'm this girl is just putting it all out there.
Yeah, she really is.
admire her so much for that and her bravery. And I think that she's really like redefining the narrative of like what Tourette's is and how to engage with people and like just to live your life and live it authentically. And
yeah, I like that about her.
I'm like so inspired by her. And like when I'm starting to have doubts about my own journey and like sharing that, I just need to try and like,
just like put it on,
channel some like Balin energy and really lean in hard to that.
Yeah, I think that's good. I do like her a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we wanted to talk about today is the Great Millennial Career Crisis. I should just call it the Great Millennial Crisis because I feel like everything everything's a crisis right now. Everything's on fire. The fire's on fire.
Yeah, I'm like, is it career crisis or just you're a millennial and your life's terrible?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
It's like a generation that is defined by burnout, financial insecurity, and lack of stability. That,
God.
like, again, that doesn't feel like, it just feels like everything right now.
I said, I think I said this maybe in the last post pod when we were talking, I didn't know it was a thing. Like, I didn't know there was like a millennial career crisis.
You just kind of felt like it's life.
I just felt like life was stressful,
yeah.
But I will say you and I are coming from this with very different perspectives.
And so first off, we read multiple articles about this, which we will share in like our description for the episode
we'll link
so that
them.
People can read some of the stuff that we read.
You can read all the facts that we get wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And then tell us how stupid we are, which will just, really like add to our own crisis.
Yeah.
But it's like this idea of like this generational breakdown of we were sold, you said this before, like we were sold a bill of goods.
Yeah.
That if we lived our life a certain way, certain things would happen for us.
A lot of us, we're geriatric millennials, but millennials in general have boomer parents for the most part. And boomers were the ones who were like, they told their kids because they experienced it, right? They were a lot of the first generation to go to college.
Yeah.
So they're like, you go to college, you work in the same job,
you go
all the way. You work up the company ladder.
Loyalty, right?
Yeah, company loyalty. You don't have to go shopping out different jobs. You just do that one job and then you retire and you get a house and you have kids, and that's the formula for success. And so that's what we were told.
And you work your way up that company ladder, you get paid more. There's this loyalty because you're putting in loyalty that they're loyal to you.
It's like the kind where you get like a watch when you reach like so many years and stuff.
Exactly.
I wish people did that.
And if I could go back and tell my 22-year-old self anything, it would be that your company does not give a shit about you.
Oh, God, it so doesn't.
Like, take your vacation days, take your lunches, like, take your weekends. I have such strong feelings, like, now as a 43-year-old woman, like, working, to just be like, and I say this with, like, no offense to any company in particular, but it's just like that culture doesn't exist anymore.
It really doesn't.
And so you are giving your life for something that's never going to pay you back the same way.
Well, like on paper, it sounded really good, right?
Yeah.
Like when you see it, and we thought we had this like roadmap, so we're like, it's totally going to work.
You follow this roadmap and you become, air quotes, successful.
But society is always shifting and changing, and it's you're gonna have to adjust.
Yeah.
Because I don't think even if we were having that success, I don't think the next generation would. You know what I mean? Like, it's always going to change.
Well, and let's face it, the world is very different, right? Like, we have cost of living increase. Yeah. Our wages have not kept up, right? So more millennials are living paycheck to paycheck than any other generation that is
crazy
out there.
To me.
But doesn't that feel true?
That feels very accurate, yeah.
It feels very true.
No, but we should start by saying, really quick, we should say that, like, obviously, if you've listened to the pod, you know this a little, but you work in, like, a normal job environment. I work for myself.
Yeah.
So, like, I've always had my own job. Like, I've done little things here and there and, like, built websites, but, like, I have my own business. I always do out-of-the-box jobs. So, like, for me, I've never followed the roadmap. And for a long time, I wish I had.
Okay. In
like,
what way?
Because, like, with my job, it's all... When you're a business owner, you do everything, right? Like, you never get a break. I would die to have somebody write me a paycheck. And not have it come out of my own business. Like, that would be like feeling like the stability of an outside source. I go to work, I check the boxes, I get a paycheck, I go home, I get a shutdown for the weekend. Even though I know not everybody like people still work at home and stuff. I'm just saying, like, to me, that's like a dream. Like, I kind of like fantasize about like the Office TV show and stuff like that, because I'm like, wow, an office situation, that seems so amazing. And like, you have an office situation, and I don't have that at all. And then like we do the podcast, and you know, not a spoiler alert, we want this to be successful, so we're treating it like a business on the side. Like we are I'm doing another thing that doesn't have like a roadmap, right? So like that's hard for me.
But I think so. From the other side of that, like the flip side, you know, you're like, these are the things I want. But I think that the challenge that I have is that when you're doing something for yourself, right? In the sense of like a business for yourself.
Yeah.
Every hurdle you jump, every bridge you cross, every inch you make moving the ball down the field, that is a victory, right?
But I feel like when you're doing it yourself, you often feel like you spend your days doing nothing. Like that. I have to make myself to-do list.
I was gonna say, but I feel like that. I feel like
you probably feel
I
like
spend
that
my
too.
days doing stuff that gets the job done, but isn't necessarily like filling your cup.
Yeah, well,
right?
it's not fulfilling at all.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It's I'm doing it. This is my job. This is what I have to do. I realize that in order for me to get a paycheck, I have to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But at some point, that transactionalness starts to weigh on you, right? Like, my dad used to always call it Novocaine, right? And that your salary is Novocaine, and you can do anything with enough Novocaine. Like, you can deal with any pain if you have the right amount of Novocaine. And I just feel like the older I get, the more Novocaine I need in order to justify the job that I'm doing. Which is why we started the podcast, as a way to,
100%.
To have a creative outlet.
Yeah. I mean, and even though I have a creative job, I still am like, I need a separate creative outlet.
Different.
Even though like people are like, well, you do like art for a living, but it's like, no, it's become a corporate art job for me.
Well, and so because you do art for a living, it no longer becomes that creative outlet.
Yeah, it's not a hobby. It's not a fun thing anymore. When you monetize, well, I'm like, oh, we're going to monetize the podcast and it won't be a hobby. But, yeah, I mean, I think it definitely becomes, you add stress layers into anything you try to.
But don't you think, like, so when I think about millennials, right, and kind of like this arc of where our life has been, it's like you graduate high school and then 9/11 happens, right?
Or you're in high school when 9/11 is happening.
Yeah. And then by the time you get to college, you graduate and the Great Recession is happening, right? And the housing market crash and jobs stop being readily available. You finally get into the job market, things start changing, and then COVID happens.
Yeah.
And you felt like that changed everything for you and your business.
Oh, it completely changed my business. Some people started their small businesses during COVID, but like for us, we were really taking off. I guess that would have been like year 9 maybe, which that's pretty standard for like a tiny business to really be seeing like results. And we were like, oh my God, we finally made it and our passive income is great and we're doing this and all this stuff. And then like, you know, lots of stores closed.
I was going to say COVID happened and everything changed. The businesses stopped ordering because they were no longer open.
We were primarily, like, we sell online. You can go shop Ren Paper Co. But we also had a huge wholesale business, right? So, like, we sold to other businesses and they had it in their store. And then COVID happened. Everything shut down. People were closing left and right. One of our main incomes was, like, this brand that had, like, 6 stores around Atlanta. And they went out of business. Like, they stopped. And it just... It slowed everything down, and nothing's been the same, which is true for a lot of small businesses. Yeah. If you survived it, it's shocking.
And so you've got this ever changing job market, right? You've got what we were saying before: cost of living increase, wages are not keeping up, and then you've also got this debt that exists because most of us went to college. You know, so something like 46% of all student loan debt belongs to millennials.
God.
I know, which seems like really, really high. And millennials have an average student loan debt balance 6.99% higher than the nationwide average. So, like, more millennials are carrying student loan debt.
Yeah.
And then $40,000 is the average amount of outstanding loan.
Like balance on their loan. Oh my God, that's so
for
much.
millennials. And I will say too, like, so we
both had student loans.
Yeah, we both had student loans. I've talked before in other episodes about going back and getting my graduate degree in public health. And let me tell you, it is one of the things that I have done in my life that was like the hardest and most challenging and also most rewarding things. I would not change it for anything. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. But now $60,000 later, I'm
you're
like,
in debt. It's like,
but
God.
I'm also like, unfortunately, the world changed while I was going through it. So I decided to go back and get my master's degree in public health during COVID. So I actually applied to Tulane, got into Tulane. I found out the week of Thanksgiving, 2020.
Yeah.
And for me, for someone who was traveling all the time and then traveling stopped when COVID happened, and honestly, I travel didn't pick up for like 2 years after that. It just seemed like a good time, to take on something else. Because I was like, I'm home a lot.
Yeah,
when I'm not doing my 9 to 5, I've got a lot of downtime.
You were working from home like everybody. And so like you're not commute. Like if you have a long commute, that's time that you can put into school.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, the world has changed. I have this time. This is something I'm interested in. And I will say too, I've always had an interest in public health, and then COVID really like brought that more even to the forefront just because of COVID and trying to learn about that. And our mom was going through cancer treatments. And so I was doing a lot of research on like,
she's fine now.
She is. But I was doing a lot of research into like the type of cancer she has and the treatments that were available and stuff like that. And so, I went and got my public health degree and graduated. And then the world changed again in the sense of, and this is not me trying to make anything political, but it is a fact that things have changed since, President Trump
you
took
have an
over
administration who does not support
public health
or scientific facts. Like, I'm going to say it. She doesn't want to say it.
I don't want to say it because I don't want to be canceled and hated on. But when I graduated, I was like, oh, I would love to go work for FEMA. Or I would love to go work for one of these other federal agencies. And
CDC. Pick one.
Oh, yeah. And when I was graduating, the new administration came online, and all these jobs got cut from the CDC. All these jobs got cut from FEMA. All these jobs got cut from like Department of Health
like
and Human Services.
Bubble again for you.
Yeah. And so it was like, now you have an industry that has a ton of education and expertise, and all these people are out looking for jobs.
Yeah.
And I was applying for all kinds of stuff because I was like, well, I would love to move into like the public health realm. And I wasn't even getting calls back for interviews because it's like, why would you interview me
when there's other people
who have so much more experience and qualifications that are asking for entry-level jobs at this point?
It's insane.
And I will say I was really fortunate in the sense of the job that I have now. I was able to integrate some of what my public health stuff into it, and was able to kind of change it with their support. And I'm grateful for that. But it was not what I was expecting. And now I've got student loan debt, and I'm not necessarily doing a job that I thought I was going to be doing, or using my degree in a way that I thought I was going to be using.
It's like they talk about the satisfaction gap.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Millennials,
it's just
like the burnout.
Yeah,
high rates of burnout. They experience, like they say 3 out of 4 millennials experience a symptom of burnout in their job. They're exhausted. They feel unmotivated. Comparatively to 62% of Gen X and 38% of Boomers.
Yeah,
I feel like because we were read like this is what you need to do on a roadmap, like we kind of were like, put your head down and work really hard.
Yeah.
And then you come up for air and you're like, I'm not making more money.
Yeah.
It's not working out, and I'm still putting in all that hard work.
At my job, you can work a flex schedule, meaning instead of working 5 days a week for 8 hours, you can work 4 days one week and then 5 days the next week. And instead of working 8 hours, you work 9 hours. So you work an extra hour a day. So every other Friday or whatever day it is you select. But for me, it's every other Friday I have off. I know so many people who work on their flex day. And I have such a problem with it.
Like they're supposed to be off, but they're still answering emails. Is that what you mean?
Answering emails, doing work to get caught up.
You're like, give me my day.
Yes.
I don't need this.
Doing meetings. Because somebody scheduled it on their day off, and I'm
that's
like,
crazy. I wouldn't do that.
I have such strong feelings about it because I'm like, it is your day off. You've already worked those hours to make up. Well,
you
for
feel
it.
Pressure then, like they're saying you should be doing this or whatever, or no?
I don't. So I think. So I'm in a fortunate position where I'm in a leadership position.
Yeah,
and so there's a lot of people below me who make comments about that, like, oh, I'm going to be working on my day off, and I'm like, you really shouldn't. Like,
you're like, don't.
I'm that person. I'm that boss who's like, please don't. Like, please do not work, because the thing is, I'm not working on my flex day, and I also tell other people who are like, in leadership positions, who have staff, you need to not work on your flex day. And they're like, well, it's my choice. And I'm like, here's the thing though. Everybody else is looking to you to model your behavior. And so if you are working on your flex day, you're telling them that they should as well. But if you are taking your flex day, as you should, because you, like I said, you've already put in the hours, then you're telling them it's okay to observe that time off and to respect it and have healthy boundaries. And I feel like, I don't know, for some reason, our generation has a really hard time setting those healthy boundaries.
Yeah. I mean, I do, but it's like, because I work for myself. So like when you work for yourself, you're always working. But I mean, I think even more than that, like the whole, like you were saying, the pay has not increased with your wages are not equal to like what things cost, and like that, the cost of like a house, right?
Oh yeah.
Like they say,
don't even get me started on
2009, housing. The median price of a house was $173,000 compared to now, which was like the study at the end of last year, $409,000.
Yeah.
But you're not making more money.
No. I mean, not that much more money.
No. So it's like, how on earth are you ever going to afford that?
Well, and when you think about, okay, so what they define as, you don't want to be house poor, right? You don't want to be spending more than 30%.
Like underwater on your mortgage? Or
no, house poor is like, I'm spending more than 30% of my take-home income on my living situation. You can't afford anything else because
you're just spending so much on your house.
And if you're considered very house poor if you're spending like 50% or more. And that's real, right? Because when you have a $400,000 house and you're making $100,000, like the math doesn't math.
If millennials are living paycheck to paycheck, they don't have the savings to put a down payment.
Exactly. And you're thinking a $400,000 house, $20,000 or 20% down payment, that would be almost $100,000 that you're putting down. You're putting down just to like buy the house.
Just to buy it.
If you have $80,000 to put down to buy a house, like we need to be best friends because like you are making way better life choices.
You need
than
to sponsor
I am.
our podcast.
You are in a much better position, and like I'm here for you, and like that's great for you.
Yeah,
but like
great.
I don't think that is most people's reality.
No,
I don't think most people
it is.
have $80,000 to $100,000 in the bank that they could just go and put down on a house right now. Like I just don't think that's real.
No, I don't.
Prove me wrong, but like I just don't think that's real.
No, I don't think it's real.
So one of the shows that we watch, The Pit.
We just addressed this.
The burnout.
Oh God, The Pit is so good. If you're not watching The Pit on HBO, like what are you doing with your life?
I freaking love
It's
The
so
Pit.
good. But they're doctors in an emergency room, and one of the new like
cast members.
Well, yeah, but like med students, because they're like students.
She is like my favorite. This second season, and she's like my favorite. Her name is Joy, which she does not have a lot of joy.
She does not have a lot of joy, and like it's the end of her shift. And she goes to leave, and one of the other doctors is like, where are you going? And she's like, I'm going home. It's the end of my shift. And he's like, well, and of course there's like a crisis and everything on The Pit. So it's like,
there's always something.
There's always something that's kind of like ridiculous, but also semi-accurate. And they're like, well, normally when stuff like this happens, we all pitch in and stay extra time. And she's like, well, don't you know that like burnout, especially in millennial doctors, is like, the rate of burnout is insanely high statistically. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, so I'm not going to add to that statistic. And she basically is like, later days, and just like walks out. And I'm like, I'm here for that. I'm like, good for you.
It's called boundaries.
Also, she doesn't want to work in an ER. You know what I
Like, that's
mean?
not her
So it's
love
not like
language.
she's like, I'm here at this ER and I want you to let me keep working here. So that is a bit of a like, because I would be like, you should put in the time if you really want to be there.
But that isn't that the
that's
lie,
the lie
we
we're
tell?
told.
Yes, that is the lie we're telling ourselves.
Yeah, because I still think like that.
Yeah, but think about it from like that perspective. Just because you put in the hours there, just
you don't
because
get
you
any-
work the
no.
extra stuff, doesn't mean that you get a residency
No,
there.
you're
It
not
doesn't
gonna-
mean you get a position.
You're not going to get necessarily anything out of that.
And I'm like, I think that's the lie we've been told. And I think even more so nowadays, because we've realized that there is this fallacy and there is not a direct correlation between you put the time, energy, and effort into a company, a business, and all this other stuff, that you then get something out of it, that we have now had to, like what we've talked about before, like we've had to fill our cup other ways, but we're also telling ourselves, well, progress isn't always like upward. And sometimes you have to like take a step back to get where you want to go. Or
Yeah.
maybe,
well, you ask, you're like, how do we improve this? And they're like, well, you just need to remember that it's not like a linear process. And you're like, what? You're just telling me that I'm not going to succeed.
or like
And
maybe
it's-
having a job that pays enough is enough. And you're like, but this isn't actually solving
But
anything.
people are
If anything,
starting-
it's your consolation prize. These are things that we are telling ourselves to accept the situation that we're in.
But people are starting to take lesser paying jobs that maybe infringe on their life less.
I would 100% do that.
Because they're like, I would prefer to have
because
a happier
quality of life.
Yes, quality of life is better. I can maybe, even if it's like, oh, I don't have to drive in, I'm working from home, but I make less money, but I don't hate my life as much. Mm-hmm. And they're choosing that instead of making more money and just like the grind.
Yeah,
And
because
I'm like,
burnout
yeah.
is real. And I mean, I feel that all the time, is that if I looked back 10 years ago and compared it to where I am right now in my career, right?
Did you think you'd be further?
I think I thought I'd be a little bit further, but I think different things matter to me right now.
Oh,
Like
yes.
back then it was
Priority shift.
It was a lot more about like the role I'm in and being able to manage a team and proving to them that I'm not a kid and that I am an adult and like I can handle these responsibilities. I let my job define who I was a lot more 10 years ago. And nowadays I don't want to be defined by that at all. I'm like, I want to be the person who has a garden.
Well, they say it's a very American thing to introduce yourself and be like, hi, I'm Kiki and I'm a school teacher. I mean, I'm not, but like, and it's like, no, that's not, it doesn't need to be linked, right?
But that's what it has been, I think, for me up until probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, I no longer want to be defined by that. I want to be the person who shows up for my family.
You don't want to be like, I'm Jessie and I'm a podcaster.
No, I do want to
Oh,
do
you
that
do,
because
you
I want to
do.
be able to like say that's like my job and be official, which that's like 10 years down the road too.
Work hard. There's a, no way.
There's nothing coming to save you. But yeah, but now I'm like, I don't know, like how my family perceives me matters more. The things that I do and accomplish in my personal life matter more. I care less to be defined by my job and my official
You're not going to
professional
look back
role.
on your deathbed and be like, I'm so glad I worked that extra
gosh.
weekend.
And that's part of it. I'm like,
You're going to be like, remember my garden? It was so great.
I could die tomorrow and they would put me in a casket and throw dirt on me and be like, next. Like
Yeah.
we posted her job,
Her job is public.
and nobody would care. And I'm just like, that is deeply disheartening.
Yeah.
And also kind of terrifying. It's like, what kind of impact am I making on the world if I am replaceable in that, sense?
Yeah.
But also everybody's replaceable.
But I feel like every generation is going to experience this in a different form because like the next generation is going to be dealing with all the AI
Yes.
and how that's affecting the business landscape and how these companies aren't hiring lower level people to work up into higher positions to transition them into.
They're just
10 years down,
eliminating
they're
lower
eliminating them.
positions.
Or they're like, we're just not going to hire because AI will take over it. And it's like, well, I mean, will it? So now they're all trying to figure out how they're going to function.
Yeah, but when you can pull up to Wendy's or a fast food restaurant nowadays and nobody's even taking your order anymore, that it's a pre-automated machine, and it's taking your order and then recording it in real time and then being like, does your order look correct? You know, and then you're pulling up and engaging with a person. Like, that's one less person that has to work there because somebody is just taking your money, but nobody has to sit there and actually place your order.
Well, those are all the kind of jobs that AI is going to take over.
But I had never, until we read some of these articles, I had never heard about universal basic income. I had no idea what that meant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if you're like me and you're like, what is universal basic income? It was it's this idea that AI will eliminate jobs for us. And so that the government would have to help support us and provide regular unconditional cash payments to every individual or member of a community, regardless of your income or employment status, to help reduce poverty and provide economic security. It becomes a consistent for everybody.
And then if you want to be successful and have more money, you have to work jobs above that.
Yeah, you would have to do something
because basically it would be taking away menial tasks and labor jobs where it's someone working fast food or data entry and things like that, where it's it's taking that job away. It doesn't exist anymore.
But there's people out there who literally think that this will be necessary in 5 to 20 years because the change in the job market, because these jobs won't be available.
Bit of a pie in the sky perspective, because it's the tech bros who are suggesting this, and they're like, well, this is what it's going to take. And it's well, do you also know that the landscape of society would change so much if you did that? It would upend society. It's such a utopic way of thinking, but it would change things so much.
I know, but I think I'm scared because I think it really is possible.
I think it's possible. I just don't think that, we can't even get our government to pay for healthcare. They're never going to give us a minimum base pay.
Yeah, but think about COVID, where they wrote checks to everybody.
Yeah, but that was $1,000. It wasn't here's $4,000 a month to live on. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you're going to get people to vote on that?
No, I'm just saying I think there's a precedence that
I would love it,
that already exists for this, and
yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying I think there is a world where it happens.
I'm if you want job security, find a job that you wouldn't want AI or a robot to do. That's the job you need to find. I don't want an AI or a robot cutting my hair.
You don't want an AI gynecologist.
No, you know what I mean? I can't have an AI dog walker. They're not going to, Sadie wouldn't trust that. She would be this is shady.
Sadie doesn't trust me.
She doesn't trust people. She's definitely not going to trust a robot.
She tried to maul me the other day when I was petting her with you and Mom, and she wanted to take my freaking hand off. And
I think she has a lot of trauma.
Who doesn't?
I mean, that's why I bite. No, I'm just kidding. I know, Mom and I were very upset. We were you left and we're what is your deal, Sadie? What is going on? And I just think she has she's messed up.
Oh,
but she's so cute.
She is so cute, and I sit there and I'm
I just you want to touch her and don't do it. I say that, don't do it.
I don't know if I feel good after this conversation because I feel this millennial crisis so deeply that
I know, but I guess I feel in a way, just know you're not the only person feeling it.
I guess.
Because like I said, not to be funny, but I thought it was life. When people are oh, the job crisis, and I'm oh, I thought that was just being a millennial. I didn't think it was a real thing, right? I thought it was just me.
You're this is just how things are.
This is just how it is, and it's very stressful. And it's oh, well, no, everyone's feeling this. People feel unfulfilled. They want new jobs. They're always looking for something better. And then it's nice knowing you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it better. It's not we have an answer. I mean, they're yeah, you need to be upscaling your skills and doing all this and maybe get into AI. And I'm oh my God, do you know how hard it is? And then, you could go back to school for something and it could be completely changed in 4 years.
Oh, you mean like
yours? Yeah. Or 2 years. And you're it's not that simple. So they don't have an answer. But I do think what you need to take out of it is you need to not let your job define everything in your life, because in the end,
what do you want to be defined by?
Oh God, anxiety.
No, that is what you're defined by.
That is what I am currently defined by.
What do you want to be defined by?
I don't even know that. I can't even think about that.
Really?
Yeah. What do you want to
I don't know. I think when I think about it through the lens of the podcast, and I'm the Maya Angelou kind of quote where it's it's not, it's about how you made people feel.
Oh, were they? I didn't know that was her. It's not like people don't remember you for the things you do and say, but the way you made them feel.
Yeah. And I think that's
I always
when I think about like the legacy I want to leave, that is something that like is the Roman Empire in my head, right? It's like that's always in the back of my mind of like, I want people to walk away feeling like I was seen with her, or I felt a little bit better because I interacted with her, or she lightened my load a little bit, or she made me laugh. Like
when I probably make you laugh at us.
When I think of even like interacting with my friends, I'm like, I want them to walk away feeling like I'm better because she's in my life.
I just don't want them to be like, why am I your friend?
No, instead they're like, why am I listening to this podcast?
They're like, I'm your friend, but not enough to listen to the podcast. Sorry.
I like you, just not that much.
Not that much. I'm like only low-key into you. That's my life.
Next.
God. So just, listen to the podcast and feel better, but maybe not this episode because you're going to be sad if you're a millennial.
You know what you can do to make it better, though?
Listen to our other episodes?
Yes, and then go back, subscribe, and give us a 5-star rating. Because,
you're going to put that energy out there. I'm a firm believer that the energy you put out in the world is what you get back. Just from like a logical standpoint, too. Like, if
in the end, the love you make is equal to, or the love you take is equal to the love you make.
I've never heard that.
Beatles. Oh. But I think it's Paul McCartney, but I'm sure it came from something else.
I said I was a Paul, and I don't even know.
I was like, I've never heard that. I have no idea what that is.
That's awesome. I've never heard it. Yeah, I just feel like, if you're a dick, you're going to get that back, right? So go out in the world, be nice.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
I think that's how we should end the podcast.
I said that, and Mom was like, no. I was like, I think our podcast should always end
with don't be a dick.
Saying, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Right?
So go get some dick. Don't be a dick.
Oh, God, Jessica! Oh, no. That's no.
Oh, that's staying.
I'm so embarrassed. We're not saying that.
That's staying. All right. This is Jessie.
This is Kiki.
This is 2 girls, 1 haircut. Bye.
Bye.
Don't be a dick.
I'm ashamed. Bye.
Hey, this is Jessie.
Hold on.
Oh.
I got to interrupt this.
Okay.
Because people are not doing what you're asking them to do.
I know. Every week I come on.
I got to come on and strong arm these people.
I know. What is going on? Because we see the numbers.
We know you're listening. You're listening right now. What, you think we're dumb? We're not. We know what's going on.
We're stalkers.
We stalk you. We see the analytics. Now start stalking us, okay? Why haven't you liked? Why haven't you subscribed? Why have you not sent this to 5 people in your phone? I know you at least have 5 numbers, even if it's your mom and your dad. You find them, you send it, okay?
And if not, I will give you my mom's number and you can send it to her so you did your homework.
Yeah, because you gotta do the homework. You gotta do show your work.
Show your work.
Because we're going to be checking. There will be a test. But please, subscribe, do all the things. We need it. We need the love. And only 5 stars, people.
Yes, because nobody needs that kind of negativity in their life.
Nobody. Bye.
Bye.